Hey guys, what is up? It's Bibsy7 here again, and welcome to another Hardcore Iron Man progress video here today on the road to all collections as usual. And we are back. Yes, I know it's been a bit since the last episode, but the Sanctum of Rebirth release has kind of brought me back to playing the game a bit and playing on this account, so I want to be back to uploading some of the progress videos. Now, these clips are still somewhat older, but not like insanely old like they've been in other videos, and we make some pretty solid progress in this video with the idea of working on necromancy gear like I mentioned at the end of the last progress video. I know that necromancy is no longer the best combat style necessarily for raw damage output at the very least, if not for, other things as well, but it is, as I mentioned, still probably the most easily accessible in terms of getting the gear and things like that. So that is my plan, and that is what we work on in this video for the most part, is moving towards some necromancy gear. And towards the end of the video, we actually get some pretty solid stuff out of the way for that. Most of the clips in this video are live commentary of me just rambling on for hours on end about random stuff, so I hope that's something you might enjoy. I'm also looking forward to the release of Group Iron Man, which is supposed to be coming out this fall. I will definitely be playing that, and maybe making videos on that as well. I hope hardcore is available on there, although I'm not sure. I don't think they've really said much about the mode just yet, aside from the fact that it's coming and that they are considering and have factored in the untradables issue with augmented items and things like that. But yeah, really looking forward to that release, and it's always fun to start a new account. But in the meantime, I am playing quite actively on this account at the moment, and will probably continue to do so, at least for the foreseeable future. So I'll be back to uploading these at least semi-regularly. So yeah, you guys can look out for these, and I'll see you for the one post-commentary clip that we have later in the video. Enjoy. All right, so I'm about to be finishing up the most recent quest, I believe. This should be it. Oh, you can teleport here. Interesting. Yeah, so there that is. Housing of Parliament. I guess you get 25 souls for that, although I have no use for them currently. Definitely not the most interesting quest I've ever done. Pretty short and yeah, not much to it, really. Not too upset that I missed the release day of this one. I'll just leave it at that. But either way, we get 1 quest point, 20k Necromancy XP, and the main reason I did it was for this uncut moonstone. So there's this new moonstone jewelry in the game, and oh, I guess that gets me back my School of Jewels achievement. But there's basically 4 pieces of it: the ring, necklace, bracelet, and amulet. I'm going to be making the necklace here, which is able to be enchanted into the alteration necklace, which gives you gives your alteration glyphs 20% more power during necromancy rituals. So as long as I have this, I'll only need 7 pieces of subjugation to make both tank and power armor if I want that. Not necessarily even going to do that, but I'll just have this. I'll just use this to have that potentially, be available if I want to do it. The other options are the Conjurer's Raising Amulet, which gives a necromancy damage bonus and increases the basic attack damage of your spirits by 5%. From what I've read, this is not too bad to use just for like Slayer or low-level PVM in case you don't want to waste your Amulet of Souls, or more realistically, your EOF charges. So that may be something I can make in the future, but not a huge issue with that, having that immediately, since it's not like best in slot or anything. And then you have the bracelet, which just allows you to teleport around a little bit more. So that's not essential either. It lets you teleport to the farming patch, which, what even is that farming patch? I don't even know. And it's not on my map for some stupid reason. I hate, just like leave everything on my map. Why are you hiding stuff? I don't understand. Oh, it's a mushroom patch. Okay, so not really that important, honestly, but still, lets you teleport straight there. But the nice one, it seems like, will be this one that lets you teleport right here, so you can runecraft. So that would be pretty cool. And then the other one lets you go to like where the ghost trolls are. And then the other one is the ring, which gives you 10% additional runes when runecrafting. So that one's pretty nice as well, especially since I assume it works on the Necromancy runes. So I'll probably go for the ring and bracelet, and then the amulet last. I'm not sure. You mainly get these, I guess, the uncut moonstones from ritual disturbances, I guess, although I think they're pretty rare. And then there's this new, like, kind of traveling merchant like shop that only shows up once a week, it sounds like. It says he visits the city each Wednesday, so I guess he's only around for that, like, the one day. But he has the potential to have a moonstone in stock for only 4K GP. I don't know how often that is the case because the GE price of these is about 1.6 mil. So, given the fact that the moonstone, or well, wow, wait, what? The uncut one says it's 1.6 mil on the wiki, and then the cut one is 1.1 mil. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, you'd think that if they were common to show up in the shop, they wouldn't really be worth anything because they're 4K each. So it's probably pretty rare to get in the shop. I don't know how often I'll get it from my rituals, but I'm not super worried about it. Although I do need to do some necromancy rune crafting before I get into too much of the combat side of things for the skill. I wouldn't, it wouldn't be the end of the world really if I had to do it without the ring. Although the ring I'll definitely make first because you can runecraft without the teleport, obviously, but having the ring will be way nicer to have that extra amount of runes. So yeah, pretty boring quest in all honesty, but quick and easy to get out of the way. Still have the remaining necromancy quests and the aftermath from Zamorak Elite Dungeon. Oh, I realized that gives us 450 quest points now, so I guess you get another magical dice, which will be fun to do. But yeah, I'm gonna make this into an amulet and then go and convert my subjugation into the cloth. You need an ensouled bar to make it with, so I'll have to go make one of those. But yeah, nice to get that quest out of the way. All right, so this is the one and only post-commentary clip that we have in the video, and I'm here at Hellweir actually working on my necromantic seals that I need for the tier 90 armor task, I believe is what it is. And as you can see, I've got 6 of them, I think, in my inventory. But I actually managed to pick up a Wand of the Kaiwir Elders here, which is pretty cool. I mean, I need those for... I would need Kaiwir components for Greater Sunshine and Death Swiftness, I think, eventually. So that's, not the worst thing in the world. Not that I'm really using Mage. And I think I already had Sea Singers at this point. But still, new item on the collection log. 190 KC for that one. And, pretty cool to pick up a drop there. All right, figured this would probably be worth making a clip for, but I'm about to finish off the tier 90 tank armor task set for necromancy here. Honestly, quite the list of things you need to do to complete this this thing with having to. I thought I could just power up the seals of the bosses that I already had, but you have to kill them with the necroplasm in your inventory, and then you'll power those ones up. So because you get unpowered necromantic seals, so that was I had to kill like 6 or 7, depending on luck, of each of those bosses. So that took a decent chunk of time. Then I had to go through an entire fight cave and kill a Jad for the pulsating onyx. I'm pretty sure you have to do the fight cave, right? Let me actually look it up, because that would be kind of sad, but I mean, it's too late now. Yeah, killing Tiztog Jad in the Tizar fight cave. So it has to be in the fight cave. So I had to go through a whole run of that, which is just kind of boring and long. And then this I had already done, but that's doing 50 powerful communions, or I think you only have to do 1 Soul Reaper task, but it would have to be with necromancy. I think I just had this when I did my communions originally. And then I just got this last thing, which is the blueberry pie. I kind of liked the ways that you activated the seals. Restoring infernal source artifacts was probably what would have been the hardest one. Thankfully, I already had all the artifacts I needed and materials in my bank. Opening crystal chest, crafting me as runes, and then the Vindicta ones were by far the easiest. But yeah, the blueberry pie, also getting that was pretty cool. because you had to go to Scape Rune because like it was kind of a cool callback because Scape Rune with where Evil Bob, Evil Bob's Island was like an old random event where you would go and catch a cooked fish and then uncook it and give it to Evil Bob to get out and you get some fishing XP. Um, you had to go there because everything there it's called Scape Rune and has like uncooking pots and stuff because everything there is opposite. So in Scape Rune, red berries are instead blueberries because blueberries don't exist in the actual game. So that's where you went to go and get them. So yeah, I thought that was a cute little callback to that old random event, and it was pretty cool. But we should be able to finish this off now. Talk about the active equipment upgrade task, and we managed to find some blueberries, and there you go. Yep. So, oh, hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. I got a phone call there, but what was I saying? I don't think I was in the middle of a sentence. I hope, but yeah, I was on the phone for a little bit. Yeah, quite the list of stuff you need for this one. I don't remember what was needed for the tier 90 power gear. Actually, I kind of want to check that out. Achilles knowledge. I don't know if they're different. Like, oh, okay, they have the whole list of it here. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, so for tank, yeah, you need way more stuff for the tank one, at least like individual items. For the power gear, you need just 3 different items from 3 different bosses. So yeah, it is definitely a lot longer of a process to get the tank gear, but definitely a lot easier. You're killing like God Wars 2 bosses and Jad, as opposed to Virago, Telos, or Solok, Ambassador, and Araxi. So yeah, definitely much easier to get that tank gear, at least to start. And yeah, I think I did the tier 70 power gear, but I haven't done the tier 80 or 90. Tier 80 still requires doing necks. But the important thing is that regardless of which one you do, you can still upgrade your weapons either way. But I should have enough to upgrade, or well, I might not have the runes actually. I might have to do a little bit more rune crafting. I'm not sure, but that the guy who's here, this shop guy, actually had miasma runes. Unfortunately, no luck on a moonstone this week. He has greater flaming skulls, but yeah, he charged 1 mil for a greater ensouled cloth. The absolute scammer. But I don't need it, so thankfully you can save the money. What am I missing? Oh, you need all the runes to make the tier 90. Well, I definitely don't have all of those, I don't think. Yeah, so I'm going to have to just craft some runes really quick here. But yeah, that's, I'm not going to make another clip just for the ending of this, but we'll have full tier 90 tank gear for Necromancy, so that's pretty cool. I'm probably going to go and try and complete the Raziel quest, maybe, although I do want to get my stuff augmented, and I don't really have any perks at this point. I think that's something I really need to start working on and focus on. Like, is my next big goals is to get some good perks before like going to grind Raziel for tier 95 or doing basically any other large amounts of high level PVM. I need to go for some invention perks since I am of course 120 as of not I don't think it was too long ago in the progress that I reached that, but yeah, I'm gonna try and probably go for some invention perks. I do have this thing still from I don't even know when, however long ago that was, but that can get me some free gizmos, which I'll maybe use. So we'll see how that goes, and yeah, I'm gonna go finish off this tier 90 upgrade, and we'll be back for maybe some invention perking. All right, so the current goal is to do Raziel and get full tier 95 for Necromancy. That is the idea. So what I want to get before I do that is at least some decent perks. So what I'm going to do now is use up my Guardian's Gift that I've had since, I looked it up, it's since the 2021 login lockout where people couldn't log in. I didn't have any issues with it on any of my accounts, but if you did, you would have gotten a bigger gift. So this one everyone got, if you logged in the time frame it was being given out, a 100% gift. But If you were affected, you got a 300%, and if you were super affected, you got a 400% gift. But yeah, I used this up on my other hardcore, which I'm pretty much never going to play again. I think at this point, I still have the hardcore status. It has 1 life left and has pretty good bank and stuff. But at this point, I might as well just play on this one. I feel like I don't know. I don't really. It's level 1 necromancy, importantly, and I don't really feel like doing that again. But anyway, essentially, all of these, in my opinion, are pretty much useless. There's some that are super useless, like this one. Cost 10% is maybe not that bad. This one is, in my opinion, worthless, especially because you can buy life refreshes and or refreshes from War's Retreat. This one is worthless. This one is... I cannot imagine anybody who would ever do that one. That's insane. This one even more so than the Navigator's Wish. This one I could maybe see, because you only cost 1% for dailies, and you could maybe like grind a certain daily, like the Phoenix thing that you want the pet from or something. And then this one I can't take because it's double XP for an hour for members. So maybe, I mean, I can't imagine using that one either because of how often there's double XP week or events anyway. And then you have the Inventor's Wish, which takes 20% charge, so I'll get 5 uses of it, and you get a gizmo shell that basically can be filled with free materials. You don't have to have them, you just have to have them unlocked, and you can just use whatever materials you want. So, in my opinion, although you might think maybe you should go for noxious components for biting 4, in my opinion, that is not the best use of these, just because if you go kill Rax and get a Nox weapon, you can disassemble that for 20 noxious components, and that is enough to make, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's enough to make 2 and almost 3 full biting 4s, and it's a guarantee. That's the most important thing, in my opinion, is the guaranteed aspect of it. You can guaranteed get 2 biting 4 gizmos with just 1 noxious weapon. And then if you get a second noxious weapon, you can get another 3 gizmos. So yeah, basically not worth, in my opinion, to go with going for biting. Although I don't have any Rax weapons currently, I can do Rax, and I shouldn't have too much trouble getting anything. 20 KC, no loot just yet. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to be using these for attempts at Aftershock 4, Equilibrium 2, although it is no longer called Equilibrium, it is now called Eruptive, because it does something different, which I think just gives you base ability damage additional. But yeah, that is a 29.55% chance perk, and it requires, let me see, I'm just trying to make sure I have the right calculations here. Yeah, that requires the Ilujankin components, of which I don't think I have any at the moment. No. I also don't have the Time Worn components. I'm going to need to use this, so I'm going to have to go disassemble some archaeology artifacts, but I can do at least one attempt here. But yeah, that requires Ilujankin components, and it is 6 Ilujankin components per attempt, and that is an item and a half from Vindicta per attempt. So although Vindicta is obviously easier than Rax, it is worse drop rate for the items overall, and you get way less attempts per item, and it's not even close to guaranteed. It's 30% for the combination that you want. So in my opinion, again, this is just how I feel, I would rather do a bit more Rax to get those guaranteed bitings than I would rather grind an absolute ton of Vindicta for these best in slot, Aftershock, and Eruptive combination perks. So yeah, you might think it's dumb, you might prefer to do it a different way, but this is how I feel is the best use, or is the best way to use my Guardian's Gift, so I'm going to do that. Oh wait, I just remembered I don't need the components. I don't know why I just said I'd have to go disassemble archaeology artifacts, but yeah, it costs 6 Ilujankin components, and you only get 4 from a, like, say, a Dragon Rider Lance. Let me make sure I'm not stupid and misremembering how it works, but I'm almost positive of that. Yeah, so you disassemble a Dragon Rider Lance, you get 1 Ilujankin component. So if it's level 8 or 9 or whatever it is, you get 4. And you need 6 per attempt on this perk. So yeah, I do have a Dragon Rider Lance, but it is currently my best melee weapon, competing with the Elder Rune 2H. And that Oh, I do have an Anima Core body of Zeros as well. That's all I have though from Vindicta, I think. Let me check my collection log. Yeah, 247 kills. I've gotten 1 Crest and 1 Dragon Rider Lance, which I think is pretty much on rate. So yeah, I'm gonna have to obviously do more Vindicta for more attempts at this, but for these free ones, I'm gonna go for it. And we do want this on a weapon gizmo shell. Let's make sure we don't mess that up. So I'm gonna do it one at a time, just in case I get it. I'm not gonna use them all up right away if I do get the one that I want. Ancient weapon gizmo shell costless. Weapon gizmo, yes. Okay, so here we have it. Oh, I didn't know it had such that's a pretty cool animation. And we do want to extreme invention pot up for these, so I'm gonna do that. And we are now gonna give it a shot. So it is only a 30% chance, but there is a very high chance that you do get some form of Aftershock 4, which we can probably use for something else. Okay, yeah, I don't have these components unlocked from God War's Dungeon 2, some of them, I think. But we do have Illujankin components unlocked. So you do that, and then you do the 3 Time Worn. And let's send it. Okay, so that's actually more rare. Unfortunately, that's an 18.65% chance. The most common combination you're going to get is Aftershock 4 Ruthless 1 at 36.39%, but we'll save an Aftershock 4 gizmo just in case. Like, we'll save the ones that do have Aftershock 4 just in case it can be used for some sort of like worthless, it's like Slayer setup or I don't know, whatever. Exactly. I'm not sure exactly what you want to use it for, but we're going to get another gizmo shell. Ancient weapon gizmo. Yes, weapon gizmo, costless. Okay. I don't want to mess this up because it would be pretty sad to waste one of these. Although maybe you think I'm wasting them with the uses I'm doing, but personally I do not. Because after I use this one, I'll have saved myself 3 Vindicta drops already, which is kind of crazy. So let's go ahead and try it again. Yes, we got it. Awesome. So on only my second try, I managed to get the combo I was looking for. Aftershock 4, Eruptive 2. I'm very happy with that. So that we can go ahead and put onto our, looks like we want that on our main hand weapon. So we'll put that on our Augmented Death Guard right now. And yeah, it is switched around. Usually you want this on an offhand because when you switch to your shield, you'll still have Aftershock 1 on your main hand to keep the stacks. But in this case, you don't really ever switch to a shield with Necromancy because then you'll lose your conjures. So there we have the best in slot perk on our Augmented Death Guard. I'll obviously transfer that to an Omni Guard once I am killing Raziel, but that's a great start. Do I have a gizmo bag? Oh, I do. Beautiful. And what's in there? Honed 5 and Furnace 2. Are those good? I don't even know, but they're in there. So yeah, we've got that. We still have 3 more uses of this Guardian's Gift, but and I'll probably use them for the same thing. But since I'm not looking to, or maybe I should just use them all right now because I could use those additional perks for things I'm going to be doing to get other perks. So yeah, I'm just going to do it all right now. Screw it. That is the best in slot perk for all situations as far as I understand. So we're just going to use them all, guys. So we're doing it. Ancient weapon gizmos, the whole 9. I could just go for like each perk specifically for Necromancy and use this on other perks, but I don't want to do that. I want to have the ability to use this for other styles and maybe even other Necromancy setups. I'm not sure, but we're just going to send it here. Maybe we can get 1 more. That would be perfect, in my opinion. Out of 5 uses, if we got 2, I'd be very happy with that, and any more would be insane. So here we go. Let's send it. Oh my god, we got 2. Let's go. 2 more attempts. Okay, that's the most common one, and better than the regular Aftershock one we got. Last attempt. Okay, so we got 2 of the most common and 2 of the one we wanted. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. And then we got 1 of the kind of not as good, but the Ruthless one isn't a huge deal regardless. So, yeah, that is going to be our perk setup at the moment. We've got a decent amount of work to do to get the rest of the perks, though. For my offhand, I want Precise 6 Aftershock 1. That is the best in slot perk for the offhand for Necromancy, and I think all styles. And that also requires Illujunkin components, but only 2 per attempt, and it's a 60% chance of success. So I will probably disassemble my Dragon Rider Lance for that attempt, but what you also need is Armadillo components, which I do not have at all. I have no Armadillo components and no pieces of Armadillo because I've barely killed Kriara, only 15 KC there, and no luck on any drops. So I'm probably going to be doing a decent amount of Kriara to try and get some Armadillo pieces and then end up disassembling those for Armadillo components. The sad thing about those is that those are also pretty annoying to get because they require so much of the item to get a large amount of the components of the items. Sorry. Of course, they only they will disassemble into 4 as well, just like the Illujunkin components. But this is a lot easier of a boss to farm than. I mean, Vindicta is a really easy boss to farm as well, but the drops are also a lot more common here. You can kill it a lot faster. You guys understand. You get the reasoning, I think. I probably will use Necromancy here. I think that I think it's possible to use here, and that'll be good for me to do because that will allow me to get my talent points up, which I actually have a couple of from getting my tier 90 set created. So let me go over there. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned it in any of these progress clips, but I do have the fully upgraded fort at Fort Fern 3. So yeah, that's I guess worth mentioning. Yeah, my talent tree is pretty lackluster at the moment. I have not purchased a large majority of things. Okay, I do have Conjure and Command Vengeful Ghosts, which is good. Oh, I want this for sure. Yeah, increased duration of Conjures. And then I'll take the additional increased duration, I think, for sure. I don't really have the runes to be casting Life Transfer at the moment. But yeah, we unfortunately can't conjure Undead Army yet because we need to get... What do I need to be able to get it? What are the requirements? Access. So how do I get access to the tier 7? Oh, okay, so I'll just unlock Spirit Pack 3, and then I'll be able to get Conjure Undead Army, which is a nice, pretty large QOL change. But yeah, I didn't do any combat really for my Necromancy training, so I'm way behind on talent points, but I do have all the souls I need and everything like that. So also one thing I did randomly when I was wanting some AFK, I went ahead and finished cutting all the logs I needed to fully upgrade the War's Retreat campfire. So that's available to me now for the best bonfire. And I've completed the entire Wars shop as well. So I think that was like the War, what is it good for achievement. So that's pretty cool to have completed as well. Got all the auras and all the bonfires and boss kill threshold unlocks. Now I can just spend my marks of war freely on consumables as I see fit. And yeah, that's pretty nice to have it as well. Yeah, we're probably going to be doing quite a bit of Kriara in the next few clips. Hopefully Necromancy works out well there. Oh, you know, I really also need to get a Zuck cape for Necromancy. That would be a very large upgrade as well. I'm not too sure how difficult it'll be to do normal mode Zuck. Probably not too hard. I did it like 30 or 40 times on my other hardcore without too much issue, but that was with a pretty good mage setup. Although I have a pretty good mage setup on this account, honestly, with my dual wield Sea Singers. And I'm just rambling at this point, so I hope you guys enjoy. That's what you're here for, right? I do have the dual wield Sea Singers. And, you know, I could augment that and throw on the other Aftershock too, or Aftershock 4 Equilibrium 2. But I don't know if I want to commit to Mage like that because I believe Mage is currently one of the weaker styles, actually. So maybe not the move. But as far as armor perks, I am also going to be needing to get into doing some Araxor. I will probably not use Necromancy at Araxor until I get... Oh, my Guardian's Gift being gone has messed up my capes. So I'll just throw this fire cape that I got earlier in there. Yeah, I also made the Death Ward and Nexus for my runes and ectoplasm, which is nice. But yeah, I'll need to do a lot more racks for the Biting 4 perk. Again, I'm not sure if I'll use Necromancy there until I get the Death Skulls, but Death Skulls will make the final phase so much easier. It's kind of crazy. I just have to, since I'm using the tank armor, I don't have to worry about the ability or the possibility of Rax reflecting my insta kill from the touch of death or whatever it's called. That is possible on the web, and I think mirrorbacks can reflect that and kill you. So as long as I don't use Deathmark, I don't have to worry about it. And it should be not too bad with Necromancy at Rax as well, I assume. But if it is not great, I can just melee, because I have a good melee setup and I'm pretty experienced or used to meleeing at Rax. That's usually my go-to method. But anyway, yeah, we'll see for that. And then the other perks for armor would be Relentless 5, Crackling 4, which just requires archaeology components. So I probably can get a bunch of those. I have a ton of high-level artifacts that are already created. So I just have to sort through these and plan what I want to use for collections and do with different things, and then disassemble some of the extras. So I might have a clip of me going for some Relentless 5 Crackling 4s in the very near future, actually, because that would be a very, very good perk to get for, as a best in slot version. And then for the others, Biting 4 as well. Invigorating 4 and Mobile is apparently the best for an additional combination, and that just requires the culinary components, which you get from disassembling things from the Culinary chest in Lumbridge Basement, so that shouldn't be too difficult to come by. I do need to get some scavenging to put on my Slayer gear for when I go for 120 Slayer. We've got a lot of invention work to do for the account, because having those scavenging procs will be very, very, very important in getting a bunch of these less common materials. It does say you want to have an oceanic component, which I believe is from Sea Singers, although I do have very, very good supply of ports materials, so I don't think I need to worry. I could make a Sea Singers item and disassemble it if I need to. Yeah, very, very healthy stock of trade goods there. So that the invigorating shouldn't be too hard to get. And then we have the final perk, which is Devoted 4, Impatient 4, and that's one that maybe I'm not going to immediately try and get as far as being all best in slot, because you need 7 Zamorak components and 2 Saradomin components to get a 1 in 10 chance, I think, of getting it. Yeah, it's a 9.5% chance. I do have a decent amount of Zamorak components just from disassembling my Subjugation originally when trading Invention, and then doing the War Priest when I did Zami. But I have no Saradomin components, and I think the main way to get the components for those is to farm Mjolnirs, which is a pain in the ass, I believe. So, yeah. I'm just kind of rambling about Invention at this point, but I might just go for Impatient 4, which I think is the better of the two. Like, Impatient 4 is the one that gives you a lot more DPS, or potentially a lot more DPS. Devoted 4 is defensive and can potentially save you some health occasionally. It is very good, and you definitely want it, but I don't think it's necessarily like required to have. And also, I'm going to want a set of each of these for the armor perks. I'm going to want 2 sets of these, because I will still, I think in some potential scenarios, maybe, I don't need it immediately, but I might want to have the ability to still use my tank armor at some places, because it gives huge life points bonus and dodge chance, which is very strong. But probably if I get the first Necromancer robes, they're probably best everywhere regardless. But anyway, that is my rant over. I'm going to go and start working on that. Probably clips will either be me getting some of the less rare armor perks like Relentless 5, Crackling 4, and Invigorating, or I'll be at Rax or Armadil Kriara to working on getting the components for those other perks. All right. All right, so I've done a decent bit of disassembling, and I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot for getting some of the armor perks that we want to get, which don't require any particularly super rare components. I did kind of waste some chi by disassembling a Sea Singer's hood, but it gives me 3 components, and I really just didn't feel like training up a full body or leg to get the 12 components. So no big deal there, but we have 12 Ancient Armor Gizmo Shells here, which is more than enough for my current needs. And the first one, according to the calculator, which is Invigorating for Mobile, actually don't want to boost for this one. So I didn't really get a ton of culinary components. I've got 16 here, which is, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's actually just barely not enough for 3. So if I don't get it, I may go give it another shot just by getting some more of those. And I really don't have a lot of subtle components either. But either way, we're looking for Invigorating 4 and Mobile. The most common perk is just Invigorating 4, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but Mobile is really, really nice to have, so I'm hoping we can pick it up here. We have 2 attempts until and if I don't get it, I'll have to go disassemble some more stuff from the Kalenomancer's chest, but let's go ahead and send it here. And that is actually a 7% chance, a pretty rare one. Reduces cooldown for Guthix, Blessing, and Rejuvenate by 5% per rank, and total healing by 1% of max life points per rank. I mean, that's honestly not the worst perk I've ever read. Some are so bad, and some are just a straight up detriment. So, I mean, we'll keep that gizmo. We have the gizmo bag, why not? But let's hope we can get it on our second roll here. And no, we got the 13% chance. So both of those were rarer than the thing that I wanted. So that kind of sucks. If you guys will bear with me, I'm just going to quickly dash back over to the chest and try and get 2 more components to give it another shot. I went through all my archaeology relics and took the ones that I need for archaeology achievements and put them in a separate tab. So all the relics that are now in my skilling tab are free reign to either be like donated for that achievement or used for components. So I disassembled a decent amount and I've got quite a few components now. The shop actually does restock reasonably fast. It's not, you could maybe just be standing around here and do some skilling and then every now and then just open it up and disassemble if you wanted to get a bunch of these, but you can probably, well, getting the red components from scavenging is actually pretty rare, I think. So this probably is the way you want to do it, is by disassembling here. But we've got 2 more culinary components, so we're going to give it another shot. But yeah, this is the wiki's setup for this perk attempt, and let's go ahead and send it. Fingers crossed that we can get it. Yeah, there's no other real combination that I want. So let's see. And all we get is plain Invigorating 4. So that's a shame I didn't pick it up there. I might go ahead and do a Sea Singer's Body and Legs then, just to get myself more of those and not have to keep wasting my chi on hoods. But I think for now, on the tank gear that I'm using and what I plan on doing with it, I'm not too concerned with just having regular Invigorating. Or I guess I'll put this on there, even though I assume that doesn't work for like increasing or decreasing your enhanced Excalibur cooldown. Well, that would be cool if it did. I'm not sure, but either way, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on there because I don't think for Raziel you're really going to be surging around all that much, and then for my, well, or do I just want to go for the best in slot? I don't know. Either way, we're going to do the other perk attempts here, which are for Relentless 5 Crackling 4, which is only a 5% chance, but it just takes 8 of these, which I have a decent amount of. So I'm just going to kind of spam this one, and we're probably not going to get very many. Yeah, just a bunch of Relentless 5s, but there we have it. Relentless 5 Crackling 4, that's 1. See how many we can get. I'll just use up all my gizmo shells on it. Just 1 so far. Wow. Well, it is a 5% chance, isn't it? So I quickly want to just put what I want to keep in my gizmo bag so I don't accidentally disassemble it. So we've got, it's always annoying sorting through gizmos because they sometimes don't show you. So that's the best in slot 1. We got the Invigorating 4 and the Invigorating 4 Brief Respite 3. I think that was all we wanted to save. So I can just assemble a few of these to make some space, and then we can try with our last few. Almost out of these materials, but I have plenty more artifacts to disassemble. And okay, so we only got the 1, but that was all we really needed. Just kind of a shame that we couldn't pick up another one. But out of the however many we did, we pretty much would have only expected to get 1, given it is a 5% chance. That one's pretty annoying because the gizmos are honestly a bit annoying to make. They require quite a few components, but Anyway, that is those perk attempts done. I will probably try and get invigorating. I need to look up what's the best way to train up invention or gear for invention, because I know it used to be like Shattered Worlds and stuff, but I haven't done it in a long time. So I'll probably look that up and maybe just do some Sea Singers and retry the invigorating for mobile. I wanted to check though on the perk page. Yeah, so you can have invigorating for mobile, but they also have alternative combos for it, which one of them just includes just being invigorating 4 on its own. So like if you don't need mobile, there's plenty of other combos you can do. The one that I got is not on that list, but yeah, it's not necessary to have mobile exactly, but it's just super good. And I think they've actually removed the ability to get adrenaline from it ever now. Isn't that right? Moves forward 10 tiles, can be cast during the global cooldown. Yeah, like doesn't a basic say? Yeah, basics say generated adrenaline. So you can't get actually, does it trigger global cooldown? Or did it? Let me get into a beef with this spider. Yeah, so surge and escape and stuff never trigger global cooldown now, I think, but in turn they don't give adrenaline, which makes mobile a lot better because yeah, it'll help you out and not really, it doesn't really have any downside. Except I don't know about Barge. Yeah, Barge still generates adrenaline, but did they change it that no, Barge still works. Either way, I'm yapping again, but yeah, we'll see what I can do for getting that invigorating 4 plus mobile, but happy with the relentless 5 crackling 4. We're going to throw that on our chest plate or a rope top or whatever and continue. I might just head to Armadillo because I don't think the crackling is a much better improvement, I think, than the invigorating, although again, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll go to the fight kiln though and try and get my cape. I don't know. I got tons of stuff to do. Whoops, my mic was in the wrong spot there, but down goes the Hurricane. 14-minute, 30-second PR. I think I did a few fight kilns for Onyxes for my Grace of the Elves and Luck of the Dwarves when I was much, much weaker, but 26 minutes, 57 seconds. I mean, I wasn't exactly trying to speed run, but did the whole thing with just the Necromancy, and we can take the Tokar Call more, which is the Necromancy Kiln Cape. And we should then be able to upgrade this with an Igneous Stone from Zuck, if I'm able to do Zuck, which I'm not 100% sure if I will or will not. But we'll have to see. That's definitely a nice start though, and a new collection log slot filled out from Haraken. We still need to get, of course, the ranged magic and melee ones, and then the pet to complete that collection. But yeah, the Zuck Cape is actually just so strong for Necromancy in particular because of the Death Skull's cooldown reduction from Living Death. So that's why it is, like, in my opinion, super important to get it. So yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get any more talent points from that, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm pretty close to one now, so I will probably try and get another one of those to increase my conjure time, and then maybe I will try a run of Zuck. We shall see. Yeah, I mean, that was just like completely scuffed. I had no idea what I was doing. Oh my god, I got a Chaos Die token. What? But hey, we got our Zuck Cape, dog. We got it. Yeah, I literally just like was reading the wiki as I did it. Probably not the smartest idea of mine. Probably should have read up on it first, but like I was just looking at the waves, like, oh, I kind of remember how to do these, and then all of a sudden a Jad would spawn right next to me. I was like, oh, maybe not. But I mean, never really had any close calls with dying. I was overeating and stuff. Got the full 3 runes for just Disruption Shield here because I don't have a rune pouch. But hey, we got our Igneous Stone, which is what I was wanting. It is a little bit scary because that insta-kill at the end with the pizza phase is a hard insta-kill, which you cannot survive with Sign, but he never really got close to hitting me with it at all. Like, at all. He charges it up for a long time after the pizzas are even gone, and that never even occurred. But I don't actually know if I had anything in here before. I don't think I did. Cast that reroll token. So yeah, pretty good loot from here. Oh wait, I must have, because they don't drop herbs anymore, right? They probably converted that. Let me check. The drops, or I mean, it's just gonna show Zuck's drops. Well, no, he says on his elite table there are herbs still. I don't know. I thought they removed all herb drops in the game, but I could be wrong. It's kind of hard to tell what the loot actually is because you kill so many monsters and it only shows me the Zuck drop table when I'm looking on the wiki here. But regardless, because the only reason is I know I did this for the full anima. I did wave 3 farming before, but still pretty good loot. And yeah, no unique obviously, but I ain't mad about that. Let's take our igneous stone for the road. We'll just leave the loot in there for now. Nothing, we don't really feel like sorting it out in the bank at the moment anyway. And a huge upgrade to our necromancy damage. The, what's it even called? Igneous Calmore. Yeah, that will help us out a ton. Makes the Death Skulls ability cost only 60% adrenaline instead of 100%, and it bounces 2 additional times. So it is extremely good. And yeah, that I just kind of YOLO'd that. I figured I wouldn't have too much of an issue with it, really, and I pretty much didn't. But maybe I should have read up about it a little bit more before just diving in like that. But hey, we came out victorious, so now we have the Kiln Cape or the Zuck Cape, and that will help out a lot as I'm going to grind these racks and Kree kills for my invention perks. And then once I have those invention perks, I will make sure I have like all the supplies and stuff I need. There might be other stuff I need to get, like Vuln bombs. I want to get Vuln bombs. I probably should have made some for this, honestly. Like, can I just make? Where's Vuln bombs? So yeah, so I have the best recipe, which is 3 soul runes, 3 chaos runes, dinosaur roar, and dwarf weed. Let's check. Okay, I don't really have that many runes. I'm gonna have to buy some of those, or might have to hit up some barrows. You never know. But I can still make some. I have tons of bottled dinosaur roars, 12.5k of those, so that's not an issue. And then also plenty of dwarf weed. So I can definitely make some Vuln bombs before I go to Raziel. I'll have those. And then as far as anything else, I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it and then we'll see. Oh, a ring. I definitely want to get a ring upgrade. Rocking my Luck of the Dwarves constantly is not ideal. But the only real ring upgrade I can think of is a Reaver's ring, which would suck kind of because I'd have to grind so much of the Dagonoth Kings. But anyway, I'll see you guys for the next clip. Pretty happy with that. Our first Zuck kill on the account went smoothly, and we've got our cape. All right. And that is going to be the end of this episode of the Hardcore Iron Man Progress. Hope you all did enjoy it. Quite a lot of very good progress made in this one. Of course, unlocking that tier 90 Necromancy tank armor, as well as at the end there getting my Zuck cape. We have a very solid Necromancy setup now to be starting on Raziel with. I believe was my plan back then. I definitely want to go for that full tier 95 set, but it'll probably be quite the grind, especially with the possibility of duplicates. So that's what we'll be looking to make some progress on, among other things, in the coming episodes. And I'll see you guys for those. Thanks for watching, and peace out.